so many years now. Great to see each of you. And as always, I really like to welcome everyone that we study together and we practice for the benefit of all beings and for this living earth. And we recognize that the suffering caused by biases and prejudices and systems of power and privilege and oppression that's based on race and sex and class and age, ethnicity, religion, national origin, ability, sexual orientation, and gender identity or expression. We aspire to do no harm in this practice and to dismantle barriers that cause separation and suffering, recognizing that our liberation is interconnected with the liberation of all. And also acknowledging those indigenous peoples whose lands we are now occupying. We live in different parts of the country, some of us, but those of us in the Portland area, this includes the Multnomah, the Chinook, the Tualatin, the Kalapuya, that make up the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, and the Cowlitz, and the Confederated Tribes of the Silettes. Many native communities that made their homes along the Columbia River for 11,000 years. And great appreciation and recognition that today there's a community of many diverse native peoples who continue to live and work here. And acknowledging and respecting and honoring all the indigenous communities, past, present, and future, and how grateful we are for their ongoing and vibrant presence. And along this line of acknowledging indigenous peoples, I thought that I would teach you a little Hawaiian this morning, since I lived there for 35 years. And there's two things I'd like to do. One is wish you a Happy New Year. And if you haven't heard it before, it's Hau'oli Makahiki ho. And Hau'oli, there's a little accent between the U and the O. Hau'oli means cheerful and happy and joyous. So sometimes you can just use that word, Hau'oli. It's a beautiful word, Hau'oli. And Makahiki is a version of the new year, the way the Hawaiians thought of things was in seasons. And Makahiki was the season between October and February. And that was a time when people would go inward. Fishermen would knit their nets. You could always tell when it was the season where sharks might be coming to shore because of the way that certain trees got red berries on their leaves, and that was on their branches, and that was the symbol to back up, bring your nets in, save dry fish, etc. And so that was that time of year, October to February, Makahiki. And then ho, H-O-U, means new. So Hau'oli Makahiki ho. Hau'ola Makahiki ho. Hau'oli Makahiki ho. Joyous, happy time of resting. This new time of resting. And I would like to also chant for you the healing chant. It's one that I do every time before I do body work and give massages to people. And it's a beautiful healing chant. And in these times of change and in these times of gathering ourselves to our senses, we need as much healing as we can get. So let's see if my voice will hold out. Ike kahi, e ho'okai kahi mana'o, e ho'okai pu'uvai, e ho'okai malama pono, e ho'okai aloha mau, mau ka ea a ka aina I ka pono. E aloha kakao, hau mau kakao, malama kakao, ikai ka kakao, makau ka kakao, e lua kakao, hau'oli kakao, e pono kakao. One consciousness connects us all. Bring our minds, thoughts, and knowledge together. Bring our hearts together. Bring together truth, a deeper discernment. Bring together love, which is enduring and infinite. Life, breath, and spirit of the land exists in right relationship with people and all living things. We are loving, we persevere, we are caring, we are strong, we are prepared, we are energetic, we are happy, we are rightly aligned. May it be so. Taking this time together to settle our hearts and minds and bodies together in one place. Letting whatever is your primary way of beginning your meditation be evident to you. Maybe it's the breath of the nostrils or the belly, bringing oneself into the body, feeling warmth or coolness, pressure, tingling. And as we settle, noticing gravity as our feet are on the floor and our buttocks is touching the cushion. Holding ourselves kindly, really understanding that we are worth this quiet moment, worth the deeper breath, worth the time that it takes to be still and rest and slow down. Let the racing mind do whatever it does, and allowing mindfulness to be present. Mindfulness can see clearly what arises and passes away. May we take these moments, as Nyingshul Ken Rinpoche says, to rest in natural great peace. Rest in natural great peace. This exhausted mind, beaten helplessly by karma and neurotic thoughts, like the relentless fury of the pounding waves in the ocean of samsara. Rest in natural great peace. Resting in awareness. Having just enough effort and energy to really attend to what is present. We use the rising and falling of the breath as our anchor. Holding ourselves in kindness and compassion as we fully embrace what arises and passes away, seeing that whatever it is impermanent. How we grasp at it or how we push it away, all of it is seen clearly in neutrality of mindfulness, with awareness being present and wisdom is able to notice whether what is coming to the forefront is skillful or unskillful. Is it something that is present and helpful for us? Or if it's unhelpful, we might notice repeated habit patterns. Maybe we can let them go. And so we just stay present in this moment, the arising and the passing away of all things that appear to be impermanent. Resting in natural great peace. Maybe what arises doesn't seem so peaceful. That's okay too. We're present with what is. It doesn't really matter if we like it or don't like it, if it's pleasant or unpleasant. We're with it fully. We can incline the heart and mind toward equanimity, toward being with what is without falling into extremes. We can have a sense of joy, Hau'oli, of cheerfulness, embracing whatever arises. Because we have this privilege of being present, having this time to look at the contents of the heart and mind and be present. This is a rare opportunity. May we greet it with kindness and with compassion for whatever arises. If we feel ourselves getting sleepy or nodding, or maybe having restlessness, maybe there's grasping and clinging or pushing away any of the hindrances that arise, we can just easily realize that this is all part of what arises on its own, unbidden. We can't push away what arises, but we can see it clearly as passing phenomenon. Conditions arising, staying for a certain amount of time and passing, that are not personal. We can't grasp onto them. We can just ask ourselves, oh, what's the attitude of the mind right now? Staying open and aware and inquisitive, letting investigation be present, deepening concentration, and staying open with spaciousness to whatever's arising, in gentleness and kindness. breath by breath, moment by moment. As the Hawaiian healing chant tells us, we are loving, we persevere, we are caring, we are strong, we are prepared, we are energetic, we are happy, we are rightly aligned. Life, breath, and spirit of the land exists in right relationship with people and all living things. As we hold ourselves kindly and gently, bringing our minds and our thoughts and our knowledge together, bringing our hearts together, bringing together truth, a deeper discernment, bringing together love, which is enduring and infinite, holding ourselves in kindness, being open to what arises, reminding ourselves as we hold ourselves gently and with compassion of the practice of generosity, the way that we are giving ourselves this time. The way that we're acknowledging our capacity to not hang on to our sense of self. The sense of the foundation and the seed of spiritual development, of generosity, of dana. This constant practice of letting go of what we're attached to. It's interesting to note that whenever the Buddha delivered a discourse to an audience of people that hadn't yet come to regard him as their teacher, that he would start by emphasizing the value of giving, of dana, of letting go. And it was only after they'd come to appreciate this virtue that he would introduce other aspects of his teaching, like the law of karma and Sila, harmonious living, the benefit of renunciation, and then finally, after these principles had made an impact on the minds of his listeners, he would expound to them on the unique discovery of the awakened ones, of the arahants, of what he discovered, of the Four Noble Truths. And it begins with that idea of generosity. Giving ourselves of this kindness and compassion, being at ease, resting in natural great peace. The Buddha even suggested that we recall our acts of generosity. As we nurture open-heartedness and kindness and being at ease. May we include others in this container of our breath and body. As we notice with mindfulness when contraction may occur, and we gently incline the heart and mind toward kindness, goodness, well-being for ourselves and for others. In whatever way works for us, whether it's phrases or a felt sense within the body and within the heart. May we genuinely touch upon this knowing of kindness, being at ease, resting in natural great peace, to allow this spaciousness to be open and touch others, that they may be free from inner and outer harm, safe and protected. May they have ease and well-being. May we hold in our hearts others that we don't know. Those in suffering, those in pain, those in sorrow. Letting equanimity be our base and the joy of the practice. Reflecting on the ways that our generosity benefits the receiver. And it also deepens our own practice of compassion and wisdom, which leads step by step to complete liberation So this way of giving kindness and compassion, sympathetic joy and equanimity in our hearts, staying open. As Visakha, who was one of the Buddha's chief patronesses, says, "When I remember my acts of generosity, I shall be glad. When I'm glad, I shall be happy. When my mind is happy, my body will be tranquil. When my body is tranquil, I feel pleasure. When I feel pleasure, my mind will become concentrated. That will bring about the development of the spiritual faculties, the spiritual powers, and the factors of enlightenment." So as we do this practice of generosity, of kindness, and of letting go of opinions and ideas and a solid sense of self, may we include all beings. This priceless, freely given gift of the Dhamma that nurtures and feeds us, may it be shared with others within our hearts. May all of those who swim and fly and walk and crawl, beings that are seen and unseen, known and unknown, may all beings everywhere have happiness and the causes of happiness, be free from suffering. May they know their true nature and rest in natural great peace. Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya dhammano upakitava meruchanti te samvapasamo sukho. All conditioned things are subject to impermanence. They arise and pass away. And seeing this clearly with mindfulness brings the greatest happiness, which is peace. Thank you so much for your practice. May it bring you joy. May it uplift your heart. And may you think at least once today of Hau'oli Makahiki Hau. Joyous, happy cheerfulness in this time of rest during this part of the year. And may we remember that through the centuries, the priceless and freely given gift of the Dharma has been offered by monks and nuns and lay teachers, and the practice of dana through voluntary gifts of support have been offered by those who felt benefited by the Dhamma. And without this interdependence of and mutual support, these precious teachings wouldn't have survived. So may we keep this in mind, that dana is a mindfulness practice. And mindful awareness brings the act of dana out of the realm of conscious, unconscious habit and into the realm of wise attention. And we can become aware of the joy that arises in the heart before giving. And we can know the happiness during the actual moment of letting go. And when we remember our past acts of generosity, the mind is filled with joy. And that settles into a deep quietness. Because dana is a practice, we can also become mindful when we feel the suffering of attachment and the painful part of letting go. And through doing this practice, eventually the heart opens and the mind lets go. In a moment of mindful giving, the heart is filled with the beautiful qualities of non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Practicing dana is letting go of greed. So may we let go of what isn't serving us for ourselves. May we notice as we come into the new year intentions that we have toward being kind to ourselves and others. And at this time of year, there's always opportunities for giving, and knowing that you've received benefit from the practice, may you find the right ways to channel your generosity to others. Thank you for your practice.